Welcome, guys. If you're here, it's because you're trying to tackle the new academic writing post that the examiners just introduced recently. And if that's the case, you probably know that there are two different types of writing academic post questions. One is where basically you just have to pick a side. You either pick student A or you pick student B side. But there's another type of academic post question where they leave it up to you, but you only have 10 minutes. What do you do? That's what we're going to analyze in this video here. Also in this video, we're going to look at a student's writing, which isn't really all that bad. It's probably like a writing that you've done before. And we're going to compare the student's writing to a perfect example. So if your writing is anything like the student's writing, you will see exactly what you need to do to enhance it to get a perfect score. So if this is interesting to you, please don't forget to hit like and subscribe. That's going to make sure that other people can have access to videos like this with free resources that can help you pass the exam. And not only that, you're going to see exactly how you can enhance your current writing level to the writing level to get the highest score possible. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into it. Okay, with that being said, we see here that the professor is asking you to make a decision on which is the better purchasing strategy, to rely on the advice of family and friends, or to depend on information from online sources. And Claire, she says that it's better to just rely on online sources because that gives you more information that you can benefit from. And Paul, he says, well, he believes his family and friends because they know him the best. All right, depending on which answer you choose, that's the side you're going to stay on the whole time. And after you give your answer, you also want to contribute to the discussion. So let's look at our template to make sure how it is. Then we're going to compare the two students. Let's check it out. Okay, so we see here that first we want to answer the question. Then we want to explain our answer with 2 to 3 sentences. And then we want to give proof, which is around 2 to 3 sentences as well. Whatever we explain, we want to make sure that our proof is the exact same thing that we explained. Then we're going to mention the other guy, just a little bit about him, something that he makes a good point about. We don't agree with his opinion, but we can agree with a subtopic that they mention. Then in our conclusion, we're going to give our answer again. We're going to repeat it to make sure that they know that that's what we believe. And then we'll mention that one subtopic from the other guy. Okay, let's check to see a bad example and then a good example. We're going to grade it ourselves. Okay, first let's check the student's answer. Notice what it says. Although many believe that online resources are made for advertisements, from my perspective, depending on information from online sources is the best. All right, we see that the student is choosing online sources as the best, but it's kind of confusing, no? Because they're saying, although we believe that online resources are made from advertisement, it's almost like the student is saying that even though I disagree with online sources, I support online sources. So not a very clear answer there. Let's see the student's explanation. With the vast majority of people sharing their comments online and introductions by merchants, consumers can find and collect holistic information. Okay, that word holistic, actually it doesn't fit there perfectly, but we get the idea. So basically the student is giving a reason or an explanation why they think that online sources are better. With a lot of information online, we can see which one is the best information to get, but we kind of have to guess a little bit if that's what they really mean. Let's see if the proof matches that explanation. For example, I plan to buy a new iPhone online last week. That should be period. And then by collecting lots of resources online, I booked the most suitable type for myself. So those are 2 sentences. They need a period. But let's see if that matches the explanation. Yes, it does match the explanation though. You collect the information online and you can make a purchase. This student said that they collected information online and made a purchase. That's good. But if you remember in the template, we want to make sure that we have long sentences, at least 2 sentences for the proof or a very long sentence, and at least 2 sentences for the explanation as well, or a very long sentence. The explanation does have a pretty long sentence, but it can be a little bit longer, and the proof as well. All right, let's see what they mention about the other guy. However, I have to admit that Paul makes a good point about friends knowing preferences. Okay, very good. With that being said, I reckon that trusting information from online resources is the best way if they can be combined with friend or family advice. So here, the conclusion is not that great, because now it seems like he's saying that the other person's opinion is actually good. So because he's saying that the other person's opinion is good at the end, he's actually taking away from his own reason, his own opinion. And we don't want to do that. So it would be better if he would have said something like, he reckons that trusting information from online resources is the best way and even better than information that you can get from friends and family. Something like that would have been a little bit better. Okay, now let's compare that one to the perfect version and see how it can be a little bit better. Also, how the vocabulary can be better as well. Okay, let's take a look. The same answer, but it should be a little bit easier to understand even with the vocabulary if you see some vocabulary that's difficult for you. Notice what it says. Although many believe that relying on the advice of friends and family is the best approach to making purchasing decisions, I argue that online information can also be a valuable resource. So, can you see a clear opinion from the writer here? Valuable information online is the best way to go, he's saying. Now let's see the explanation. With countless individuals sharing their opinions and insights online, consumers can access a wealth of comprehensive information, enabling them to make informed choices. This level of understanding would likely be impossible without such assistance. So all of the information that the writer finds online would help him to make a great purchase. That's why he thinks that's the best way to go. Let's see if the proof matches that. For instance, last week as I prepared to buy a new iPhone online, I researched various sources and identified the model that best suited my needs. I was truly grateful for the abundance of reviews available. So you saw that again. He basically is showing it's clear to see why he thinks that online resources are better. So even before we mention the other person, Paul, we already think that the writer has the best answer to go with. But let's see that little point that he talks about Paul. However, I acknowledge that Paul makes a valid point about friends having a deeper understanding of our preferences and interests. You see there just a little bit about Paul, and notice the conclusion. While it is true that online reviewers may not know us personally, I believe that trusting information from online resources is more advantageous. Ultimately, we make the final decision and often understand our needs better than anyone else, including our loved ones. So did you see that? Even though they mention one good thing about Paul, the writer's opinion is way better. If we have to give someone a win or a trophy, we're definitely going to give the writer the trophy here because he answered the question, he explained it, his proof matched his explanation. He even mentioned a good thing about the other guy, but his opinion was better. Hey, I'm sure you did a great job. And also, don't forget to do a writing yourself. Compare your writing to this one, enhance your vocabulary, do the best you can, and I can't wait to hear your results on your exam. All right, guys, what a wonderful job. It was really good showing you the different types of TOEFL academic writing questions. If you really appreciated this video, please don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And in the next video, we're going to tackle the integrated writing section. Hope you're ready for it. See you in the next video.